to our membership meeting. Looks like we have a good crowd today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll call the meeting to order and ask, are there any introductions anyone would like to make? Any new faces? Anything?
Good morning. I would like to introduce our new development director, Carol Harney. She's in the room, I believe, and also to our grant writer and manager, Anab Mohammed. Many of you, I think, have met Anab, but Carol is new. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Anab, grants manager with Community Human Services. Nice to meet you all. Thank you. Thank you, Robin, for the intro.
All right. Well, very good. We'll move on. We're going to go to public comment, and I noticed that we forgot to put agency and organization updates on our agenda, so I'm going to combine it with public comment. So if you have a comment or you have something you want to share about what you all are doing, raise your hand, please.
Good morning, everybody. Alexa Johnson here from Housing Resource Center. Just wanted to give an update. We hosted last Thursday our City of Monterey Landlord Workshop, and it was really successful. We were really encouraged to continue doing some Peninsula Landlord Workshops and try to hopefully get some more landlords who are willing to partner with our agencies. I want to say thank you to Echo Fair Housing, Community Human Services, and Gathering for Women for coming out and just sharing all the awesome work that you're doing and giving landlords an opportunity to meet you. And then the first week of September, we have the California Department of Social Service coming to our county and to HRC to kind of learn how our housing programs operate and about our Landlord Gold Standard program. So we're really excited and nervous, to be transparent, about having them come and to learn all the things that we're doing. And so we're really, really excited to show off our county and let them know all the good work that we are doing. And those are kind of the two really big updates that we have.
Good morning. Just a quick little update. Here, I'll turn my video on. We've first place Monterey, even though some of you may have seen, that it's boarded up, we are working on getting those new windows up. We are still open for business, normal working hours. So please don't hesitate to refer the youth 18 to 24 over to Safe Place. The other thing I do want to share, the Share Center had a workshop with United Way that was well received for the financial literacy class, and I did hear that quite a few people signed up, so we're asking them to come back and provide, I believe, some additional workshops, so that was nice. And we also had Amarta from our mental health department with Genesis House, and Jessica from internal programs go and do a little in-service for all our staff regarding our adolescent outpatient treatment program, which is new to CHS. And the staff, it was a great turnout. I think we had about 20 staff show up, and it was well received. They were very, they mentioned it was informational, and they actually want them to come back and do it for our support counselor twos. So that way we're able to better serve our clients. The other thing I want to mention, I don't know if Nab or anyone else wants to mention, we had our founder of Schumann Heart House, Mark Schumann, who made a pledge for donations, and I believe it was a generous matching donation of $50,000. I'm not sure how long that's going. If there's a timeline for that, I'm not sure. So maybe either Robin or Nab can talk a little, give a little bit of more information on that.
He did not specify a time frame, so but we did send out a direct mail appeal, and we're promoting it in the media and on our social media. So usually you're going to get your results in the first 4 to 6 weeks. So
yeah. So Vincent Montgomery, Division Manager Housing with the City of Salinas. And I just wanted to clarify the status of the rent registration and rent stabilization ordinances. And there was a district meeting last night, District 1, and it came up, and there appears to be a lot of confusion about where we are on that. So I wanted to say that there initially was, back in June or a repeal, a proposal to repeal those ordinances, and then there was the referendum. The referendum of votes has been certified by Monterey County. Therefore, the ordinances are still in effect. They were never fully repealed. There was just a proposal to repeal them. So they're still in effect, and it will probably be going to the ballot, but there will be a city council to make a determination on whether or not to put it on the ballot or just to repeal the repeal, so to speak. So if anyone asks you, and I figured this would be a good venue to announce that, just because you guys are touching base with a lot of tenants, a lot of clients, maybe even some owners. So it is still in effect, and probably won't be resolved until it goes to a ballot or the city council determines if it's just going to stay in existence.
Good morning, everyone. I've just got a couple of small announcements for Dorothy's Place. Some may have already heard that back in June, we decommissioned our drop-in center, gave it a really big facelift on the inside, freshened it up, and recommissioned it as a new program called Sana Vida. This is a program that was named by the staff. It basically translates to healing life. This is now a center for our behavioral health peer support specialists, and we have 2 specialists and a manager in there now, looking forward to getting a 3rd peer support specialist probably in October or November. The space is a little bit different. It's very programmed. It is oriented toward people that want to walk in and discuss behavioral health challenges that they're having in their state of unshelteredness and getting hooked up. And basically, because it's, the county is flooded with requests for these behavioral health appointments, it's a lot of hand-holding until they actually get hooked up and into their system of care. And our peer support specialists are doing a fantastic job. They're both state certified, and they're amassing certifications in other areas too. So one of them is now about to certify in the criminal justice specialty. I do also want to say that our drop-in center, which before was exactly as it sounds, a drop-in center, you could come in, get basic needs met, and hook up with a care management specialist if you wanted to. That has changed a little bit due to something that acted upon us from the block that we did not expect. We had a peer support specialist doing a routine restroom check inside Sana Vida, and she unfortunately walked into a cloud of methamphetamine and fentanyl smoke somebody was using in the restroom. She immediately overdosed. And it was 5 Narcans later, and the ambulance crew, we Narcaned her 3 times before the ambulance crew arrived. But she is still recovering from that, and we don't know if she's going to return to us or not. We think that she will. But because of safety reasons, we decided to not be a drop-in center anymore. We are Sana Vida, where you come to get hooked up with behavioral health services, or you come to an appointment there in that program, either a group session or an individual one-on-one counseling or whatever. People that come to the door now will ask if they're seeking services, if they're, behavioral health services. If they're not, they will be referred to another service on the street that takes care of basic needs. We had to do this, first out of protection for our staff, but what we are also encountering is the people that do come in and use Sana Vida, which are numbering, I can't remember exactly, somewhere between 60 and 80 people so far on a regular basis, feel that it's a much safer environment for them and far less triggering than it was before. So we think we've kind of struck on a success formula there, and that's something that we're going to continue to monitor as times go by and our Chinatown area changes, because we are in a slow but steady metamorphosis where we are in what used to be, might still be, the largest encampment area in the county. And that was it. That's all I wanted to update everybody on. Yay, Sana Vida.
Thank you, Jill, and it sounds like a great new program, and boy, the fentanyl story is disturbing, and I admire the way you all have handled it and pivoted and made this thing work.
It was just shocking, but I really thank God for the trained staff that were there and recognized what happened immediately and were able to get her conscious again, because that would have been just absolutely terrible for her. But we're really proud of the program, and we're really hopeful that it's going to reach a lot of people that need this kind of help.
Good morning, everybody. This is Henry Gomez with Hope Housing in Marina, California. And I'm happy to announce that we're celebrating our first year anniversary. August 28th, Hope Housing has been open for a year. Shout out to Monterey County Behavioral Health Interim Inc. and the County of Monterey Health Department, Sun Street Centers, of course, and HRC Housing Authority. We've been open for a year. Currently, we're housing 114 individuals. We have 51 occupied units, 42 male residents, 39 female residents, 1 non-binary resident, and 32 children. And we're going forth into the next year with just very enthusiastic, really happy with what we're doing here and where we're going. We've already made some, we had some success in housing some of these individuals, and they're getting there because we just started the year. This is an 18-month program. And with the help of HRC and everybody else involved, we're looking for ways to deal with the challenges of getting them to long-term housing. And it's a challenge that we're willing to take on.
Good morning, everybody. Donna Smith, Monterey County Office of Education, Program Integration and Supports, and Homeless Children and Youth Services. First of all, in the link, I did send in the chat, I did send everybody a link. This is a document that we've been using for years, but we are continually adding to it. And this document is actually shared with all of our school districts and charter schools, homeless, foster, and community schools. Anyway, if you have any services that you offer to homeless children and youth, please go ahead and add your information onto this document. And also, let's see, if you see any mistakes, let me know. I can see Alexa's typing over there, so thank you. Second of all, we have finished our identification of homeless children and youth for the last school year. We were at preschool through 12th grade, 13,450 something. And of course, a large percentage of those are doubled up, 90%. We did have a lot of interesting data to share with our district, so we are still supporting all those families. Also, if any of you have shelters and you house any families with, homeless children and youth, would you please let me know if they need help enrolling in school or getting transportation or any of that. I am getting calls from different shelter friends about certain families, and the sooner I know, the sooner I can get them the services they need to get to school. So that would include, of course, any shelters, including Hope Housing.
I wasn't trying to rain on everybody's parade, but you already know the direction I go. Which is improvement, and I mean, I'd love to give you kudos when you got them. But Wes Wise, Salinas Monterey County Homeless Union, also a member of the LEAD committee and voting member on the Leadership Council. I just wanted to mention a little bit about rent stabilization. The city actually was telling people, well, just pay your landlord, because we don't know what's going to happen. And more than likely, we're going to repeal it, although we can't say that directly. But they did tell tenants to just pay their landlords and then worry about it later. It sounds like they're going to do a special election, which is going to cost the voters more to, public money for private gain. I'll throw that in there. And then I went to the homeless outreach coordination meeting yesterday, which was very disappointing, I guess. I did kind of spring a surprise at just showing up to video, but, it's a public meeting. And I understand, client confidentiality, things of that nature. And I don't mind omitting those kind of things because I'm not trying to out anybody either, and there's HIPAA, whatever. So that's not really a concern. There was a lot of content and discussion that's happening around the county, especially about outreach, and what they mainly focus on was, cleanups, and, oh no, they're gone, and oh, it's so sad that people are losing their vehicles in Monterey, and oh, it's so sad that they're just gone. Well, so I'm going to suggest, shelter in place. I'm going to suggest our own position paper on sweeps from 2020. Where shelter in place was right after that, where we provided services and we allowed people to maintain an address. And I guess that's what I'm shooting for again. Right now, the livability license, I got shot down all which ways. And it's amazing how people can just be so happy, getting paid to parrot. There's no other option. You just got to get rid of them, and when are we going to get to the point? Is it going to have to be you that ends up out in the street that is you're worth defending? Because there's so many people, so much love in this community. This got no price tag to it, and they got nothing. They keep ending up getting robbed, and everyone's just fine with it. Paid to parrot for a paycheck. When are we going to move beyond that and be Team Y, not just Team Win? You need to help me stop the sweeps and provide people services, running water, electricity, showers, laundry. Hey, dude, you didn't keep time on anybody else. Don't do this to me.
All right, we'll go to my comments on the solution set. We're in a reset mode. We got started. We're making good progress. We kind of stalled out, frankly, in the summer with the summit and with the summer and vacations and all that sort of thing. And we're now in the process of regathering our energy, assessing our progress. We're going to be doing some reviews centrally here across all the different solution set modules, and now working really with a focus on implementation. So we have, some of the modules are a little further along than others, and that's to be expected. We have updates this morning from 3 of our working groups. So I'm going to start with Anthony on permanent supportive housing.
Our team also went through challenges, and I think it was just a matter of kind of getting everybody together. But when we did, we had some great ideas. And before, we had discussed some tools, and we developed some Excel tracking tools to monitor landlord engagement. We also created a guidebook of best practices for permanent supportive housing providers. But I think the one piece that was missing was something that it described and made what we had done actionable. So I met with Greg a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about, turning it into turning our tools and our resources that we developed into like something kind of like a training. And so where we're at right now is we've recorded one training for one of our tools, and we're kind of just going and getting feedback on it right now. And hoping to have another video within the next couple of weeks on our best practices. And it's nothing too daunting. We just want to make it easy to digest. And so we're aiming for videos of no longer than 10 minutes. And then I think that would be a really great resource to then share throughout the coalition, because it wouldn't just be the tool, but also what we're doing is a short YouTube link. And then in the description of that video, it has additional links to where we're going to post the tool. So that's our plan, trying to kind of modernize and get up to speed with modern technology. Does anybody have any questions before I throw it off to the next group?
I'll add, Anthony, that I got a chance to watch your first video, and I thought it was very well done, and I think it's a great way of doing the training for a particular module. And, because you can use it over and over again, it lasts, people have access to it. It was clear and well done. So I encourage people to check it out.
Thank you, sir. Maybe we can show one off at a future meeting.
Yeah, maybe so. Let's go to Regina for emergency shelter. Okay, well, I can tell you I have some awareness of that, and they feel like they're basically done, and they've developed a number of different deliverables, forms, checklists, policies, suggested policies and procedures, and so we'll show that off at a different meeting. I guess last but not least, Katrina, do you want to say a few words on your advance notice and communication?
Yes. So with advance notice and communication, it's really trying to bridge the gap between the entities that are doing encampment cleanups or sweeps and our outreach workers, and getting that information from those folks doing the sweeps in a timely manner to the outreach outreach workers to start getting out there. So we've been having some scheduling conflicts to meet with outreach folks to align what I have written, our group has put together for policies and procedures in and around how they do outreach and getting that information back to CHSP. But I do have like some escalation templates, communication templates, and MOU that I would like to get out to the outreach leads and their organization. So I have some polls out to start scheduling time to meet with them so we can review their MOU, have them look at that with their organization leadership, and see how we can get buy-in and support in moving this forward. I have our portal all built out. Thank you, Willie, for putting that together. So that portal will be shared with those encampment or outreach leads and leadership to monitor, and then they can update their information there. That's where all of our documents will live and shared. So once I get that, I hear back from or have that initial meeting with outreach leads and their leadership on this MOU, then we can start the training of those outreach groups on how we would like to implement this. Like I've reported in previous meetings, I've already did like a pilot on just getting that information out to the outreach groups and them filling out like post-sweep, pre and post-sweep reports on what and who and how they administered services to those encampments. And the information is coming in, it's just not complete, and I think that's because of the training aspect. The teams need to be trained in how and what I'm trying to extract from this activity. But I think we're in a good space. We are now a year after Governor Newsom announced his encampment ordinance. So really want to try to dig deep and get this rolled out and implemented so that we can connect with those living outdoors and really closely monitor how many sweeps are taking place and the type of work that we're offering out there, so that we can see where we can fill in gaps when applying for funding.
I think it's really important what Katrina, what you're doing with the working group, giving the people who will be affected by these things the opportunity to look at them, weigh in, understand them, provide their feedback, and then follow that up with the training, for people. So I think that's going to become the model for how we do each of these modules. We also had in mind sort of a central review across all the different working groups to be done by the executive committee. So we're going to be working on that. Wes, you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you. I was curious about how many people it affected. I guess Pájaros is the one, and I guess I'm not aware of any other sweeps that are happening, although I did try to, if I would have been able to record it, I guess I could have been able to prepared it better. But how many people does it affect? How many people are being placed? How many people are we going to see again, tonight after they're kicked out of there, and with a lot less stuff? So what are we sending them off with, or are they just walking off with just what's on their back? And how do we consider, what measures, how are we going to call ourselves successful in this?
Right. So that is also something that I'm looking into as well, is how we measure success. And that's something that we'll look at with our executive team. With Pájaro, that was a very different type of work being done, because it was led by the county and the Continuum of Care supported them in trying to house folks. So there was about, I think, like 150 people out in Pájaro, and service delivery was really tough. I know there were some housing placements on the Monterey County side. I haven't gotten the data on the Santa Cruz County side of housing placements, but we're bringing out, there's policies in and around storing of items. It's like really depends on who's leading the sweep. If the coalition is notified, then we'll go our route. But in this case with Pájaro, it was county is helping support that. The county of Monterey is helping support that in partnership with the county of Santa Cruz and their Continuum of Care. So there is like storage options for their belongings, housing intervention that are taking place, and case management as well. So with that project or activity, they're meeting like twice a week to 3 times a week on that, and I'm not in all of those meetings, so I can't really report out on everything that's taking place.
That's true. I do plan to be there that morning, so is there anything I should look for to be indicators of success so I don't miss those and, try to glaze over it or whatever, because I certainly want that. But I'm also going to be, interviewing people who are exiting, and they're going to have their own assessments of what's happening as well. So I'm hoping there will be congruence, and if you can give me some advice on what I should be looking for.
Yeah, let's give you a call after this meeting and let's talk a little bit more about it. I'll meet with our team to see what else is taking place. I know Ask the Support Network is highly involved, and we'll be bringing all of the material for those occupying that space, like totes and bags and things to store their belongings, and then where they're storing it. So let's chat after.
Sounds like the group's done a lot of work and is ready to rock and roll, so I'm excited about that. Okay, well, thank you. With that, let's go ahead and go to the updates, the CHSP updates, please.
We're going to remove item B. I'll start off with the two that I have, and then Nicole will take the rest. So we are now into August, and CHSP membership invoices have not went out yet, and they will go out for fiscal year 25-26. So please expect that coming in, and then HMIS licensing. So over the past couple of months, you all, if you're participating in HMIS, you would have been receiving emails from our staff confirming your users. I did get with WellSky, and that time frame goes until September, so that's why you haven't gotten your licenses yet, and your invoices for that yet. This fiscal year, CHSP is unable to do the 50% or a portion of your HMIS licensing and platform fees. So as reported in previous meetings, you will be your organizations will be responsible for the full price of your HMIS licenses for the year. And once you purchase it, it is yours for the year. And you can move throughout your organization as staff leave or jobs change. You just have to keep us updated so we can make those adjustments. And then you will also be responsible for a portion of the platform fee. We do have some funding to cover a percentage of the platform fee, but I won't have the full amount until our contract is executed with WellSky. So that is coming down the line. If you guys need licenses now, please send them to me, and we will start processing that and adding that to our next pot for this fiscal year. You will be getting some updated membership forms as well, assigning who is your point of contact for this group, if there's any changes that are going to be made for this fiscal year, so that we can make sure that you all are getting the information, the information coming from CHSP is getting to the right folks, and the right folks are attending. This is an open public meeting, but as far as your participation as a membership, as a member, we want to make sure that we're getting it to the right folks. So keep an eye out for those 3 documents that will be coming out from our office. And then if anybody has any questions regarding that, I can answer them.
We have a question in the chat. Is this going to affect any HMIS data dependent reporting to HUD?
No. It's just you own the license and you're paying a portion of the fee. So it still gets billed direct, everything still gets billed to the coalition. We just can no longer cover the full 100% of the platform and the license fees any longer due to budget cuts.
Hi everyone. So I can very quickly to Anab's point is the HMIS 2026 data standards will be coming out, and Oliver is working with WellSky on those, and he'll be doing like a something within the office hours and the oversight for HMIS when those are ready, because there will be changes coming to that. So stay tuned and look out for Oliver's emails for any new data standards for HMIS, because those will be coming out this year. For MC Gives 2025 and the CHSP solution set, we are this year submitted an application to MC Gives for specifically our CHSP encampment solution set. And the idea of that would be to help support the work that you all are doing and that you all put into the solution set, and being able to actually have some funds to be able to give to that work. So the application that we submitted states, we would be working with the County of Monterey and their approved encampment policy that sort of grades or classes certain encampments, and if an encampment just needs to be cleaned up by the community that lives within it, right, then CHSP could help provide funding for the trash receptacles, for cleanup supplies, and then help to organize that community cleanup like they did in Pajaro, and that actually was incredibly successful. That's one part. And then if, unfortunately, an encampment does need to be swept, then we would be able to help provide funding for storage. And then we would also be able to help the outreach committee. They've recently been doing a lot of resource fairs at larger encampments. And so we'd be able to help give a little bit of funding to that work, and help make those events bigger and hopefully even more successful in connecting folks, and then also be able to help provide outreach teams, any outreach teams that need things like hygiene kits and other types of materials that you could be handing out. It will be inclement weather coming up, and that goes all the way through March. So hopefully CHSP will be able to get some funding for like raincoats and things like that, extra umbrellas, socks, whatever it may be. So that is what our MC Gives is going to be this year, which is a shift away from what we usually do, which was to support the coalition's operations and the Lead Me Home plan work. So we're very excited about the solution set. We are definitely 100% behind you all in the work that you do, and hopefully spread the word so that we can get some funding for these encampments and really try and help folks and you all doing the hard work.
If I can just add, spread the word, absolutely. I think, we're all out there plugging our own MC Gibbs solutions. But this one affects all of us. So for any of you and any of us, if you can put in a plug for the solution set and the funding going to the coalition, that would be a really good thing. And I would encourage you to do that. And I will as well. So I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. So the next is the 2025 HUD NOFO update. So we did receive notice that they don't know when, but HUD does intend to release a NOFO for this year. Everybody already got in their GIWs. Thank you all very much for getting that done and getting that back to us. So something is imminent. We are unsure when. They have not been clear about when or possibly when. And because they have been so unclear and it is already going to be September, we can likely expect a shorter timeline, much like we did this last year. So things will get crunched. So please. I know Oliver is already working with folks on cleaning up their data, but please start looking into that even deeper if you can. Submit case tickets to work on that with Oliver, and just be ready, because that will be coming. Unfortunately, we expected it to be a 2-year NOFO, and there are advocates that are still trying to push to have Congress and the federal government honor that 2-year NOFO, because a lot of communities are now unprepared. But yeah, so when that data, when it all comes down, right, we've got to move quick, which means we've got to do all those data pulls quick. So please start working on cleaning up that data in HMIS. I saw Jill's hand, but then it went back down.
I was going to ask about the 2-year, the easier renewal, but you answered the question.
I wish. Okay. Yeah. And then I'll move on to our HAP 6 update. So we are trucking along. The application is due in 9 days. So that's very exciting. The counties have been working incredibly hard with Kate Bristol, our consultant for this. And they have actually a very large lift compared to the coalition. So the counties have been really working to get it done. That's Enrique's team and Roxanne's team and John Gill's team. So thank you to them for shouldering a lot of that. Thank you all for responding to the interim housing survey that we sent out. I know it's a crazy ask. So we appreciate you all and the honesty in knowing whether or not you will have funding in the upcoming years. I think it'll be important to also prove that this is why HAP funding is super necessary within our communities, because we rely on it a lot. So thank you for that. We are on track to submit. We will be going to the Leadership Council with any final updates and things next week. And then that's it. Friday we submit. and we're hoping it'll be a smooth process with HCD because we're trying to learn from what we did last year. So hopefully not too much back and forth there. Okay, and then I think the last of mine is the flexible TA update. So, woohoo! The coalition was actually selected to participate in DHCS's Flexible TA Academy, and when we partnered with the Monterey County Behavioral Health Bureau, so super big shout out to them. We also got a small grant to be able to do some of this work. So we are very, very, very excited. That kicks off in November, and we've got a great team already built up. So, the County of Monterey's Behavioral Health Bureau is with us. The City of Salinas, Roxanne's team at the CAO office. We've got HRC, CSOL, Step Up, DST, and the City of Monterey just joined us on that team as well. So we're very excited to be doing that work, and are super excited to bring to you all what we learn, especially about this flex pool. And it's also supposed to somehow blend with transitional rent in some sort of way. So we'll be bringing back to you all everything that we learn on that TA team. And then the expectation is that the flex pool would launch sometime late next year. You get at least a whole year of TA to figure out what it is it's going to be. But yeah, we're very excited. So more info on that coming as we learn.
Yes. One more update is that we are coming up on our 2026 Unsheltered point in time count. I wanted to launch our planning committee in August, and it's August 20th. So we're going to shoot for beginning of September, and I would love to solicit any of your guys' participation in the planning of it. We know what it looked like last count, and that was a hard hit for our community, and really want to make this a community-wide effort in the planning of this and how we can really get an accurate count. I believe what we got was an accurate count, and there's always going to be. We're not going to make anyone happy. If our numbers drop, we lose funding. If our numbers rise, it's like, what are you guys doing? So we want to just make sure that there is enough folks that is a part of the planning that we could all together confidently say that we did our darn best in getting an accurate count, and that we all stand by each other in this. So if you want to send me an email saying that you'd like to participate, because if not, I'm just going to send you an email and ask you to participate. So really want you guys part of the planning process and get any feedback on how we can do things different, better, stronger than counts before. And also looking at your data, because that is part of the unsheltered count. We'll still have the sheltered point in time count and your housing inventory count. So connecting with Oliver on your programs and understanding them, and if there's any issues, definitely getting with him in a timely manner on it. And that is all my updates for now.
Well, wonderful. Thank you. Well, I'd like to finish this meeting by thanking Katrina and Nicole and the whole staff there at the Coalition. As you can tell just by listening to them, the number of things they have to deal with on any given day is daunting. And, Katrina's done a great job leading the charge, and the entire Coalition. Whenever I am interfacing with them, they're going 100 miles an hour and doing some great work. And they have some huge challenges, too, that they have to deal with. And I appreciate the way you all navigate through those and provide the level of service that you do. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Greg and my team. I do want to announce that this is Willie's last meeting. Our CHSP admin has found a great opportunity outside of the coalition. So we will be reopening our administrative coordinator position with so much going on. So no shade, Willie. We love you. Thank you so much for the time that you have given us. But everyone, keep an eye out if you know anybody who's interested in an administrative coordinator position at a pretty awesome continuum of care. Shoot them my way.
All right. Well, we'll miss him. All right. With that, we are finished. I'm going to adjourn the meeting.